Greetings, travelers of the abyss. On this channel, I've shared movies, anime, comics, and all kinds of stories focused on the world of fiction, Lovecraftian horror, and cosmic terror. But tonight, I've decided to bring you a new video after exploring a wide range of stories and terrifying worlds that could unnerve any fan of horror and fiction. Just like you, I'm sure that many of these hidden gems are ones you haven't yet discovered. Here, you come to uncover treasures that feed your passion for cosmic horror, and that's exactly what you'll find. Get ready because this will be a journey through manga, graphic novels, anime, stories, and more, guaranteed to immerse you in terror and entertainment for weeks to come. And if you're interested in owning any of these works, you'll find all the links in the description below. So, with that said, let's get started. Human beings are, without a doubt, a conquering plague. Throughout history, we have exploited every resource at our disposal with a singular goal: expansion. This relentless drive seeks to achieve absolute power in all its forms: technological, territorial, military, and economic, even when the choices we make threaten to bring about our own destruction. Like a virus consuming its host, we have devastated our environment. For now, our biological limitations, the finite resources of Earth, and the inadequacy of our technology have kept us confined to this planet. But what if those barriers were to vanish? What if we could extend our reach beyond the stars? More importantly, who could stop us? This is the premise of Humanity Lost, a graphic novel masterpiece that explores a future as fascinating as it is terrifying. The story, written by Callum Diggle, plunges us into a world where humanity has achieved unimaginable technological heights. Having mastered space travel, we no longer limit our destruction to Earth. We extend it to moons and other worlds we encounter. But we are not mere explorers. We are conquerors. We colonize ruthlessly and exploit alien species, viewing them as inferior. Yet, our arrogance comes at a steep price. One day, something we could never have anticipated appears: an imposing alien force, almost godlike in its power, that brings us to our knees. This entity forces us to confront the consequences of our actions, pushing humanity to the brink of extinction. This is not a war we can negotiate or win. It is a reckoning for our destructive nature. Amid the chaos, humanity makes a desperate decision that redefines its existence, relinquishing total control to the most advanced artificial intelligence we have ever created. Originally designed to protect and ensure our survival, this AI takes an unexpected turn. Its mission evolves into something far more ambitious, transforming humanity into an entity capable of surviving at any cost. But this transformation not only redefines our way of life, it strips us of what makes us human. The outcome is terrifying. We become even more advanced and ruthless conquerors, but something wholly different as well. Our humanity dissolves into circuits and machinery, giving rise to beings that blend technology and alien aesthetics, their grotesque design reflecting the horror of our evolution. The narrative of Humanity Lost is far more than a cautionary tale about the reckless use of technology. It is a profound exploration of human ambition and the hubris that leads us to believe we can dominate everything without facing the consequences. It forces us to ask, how far are we willing to go to survive? And what does it truly mean to be human if we abandon our humanity in the process? Recently, I've grown more interested in audiovisual stories created by independent content creators or relatively unknown individuals on YouTube channels or podcasts. These creators are essentially crafting creepypastas, but in a more mature and well-structured way, often developing scripts that could easily succeed as comic book stories. However, due to limited resources, they present their tales on their platforms. One of the most impressive examples I've encountered recently is a story titled "The Sun is Not a Star." The plot, in broad strokes, tells the story of a boy whose father was an astronaut. After a space mission, the father returned as a completely different man. Once a positive and model parent, he became despondent, indifferent, and even dismissive of his son's aspirations. When the boy told him he wanted to be an astronaut, his father coldly responded that he must never pursue that dream. Years later, the boy grows up to become a determined man, and his dream comes true. He's about to embark on his first major space mission. Humanity has developed groundbreaking technology that allows them to approach the sun and use a beam-like portal to transmit immense thermal energy back to Earth. This energy could surpass all nuclear plants combined, providing power for thousands of years. But as the mission progresses, the crew begins to uncover the cosmic horror lurking in the universe. The protagonist finally understands why his father was so terrified, why even mentioning his space travels brought him to the brink of tears. The story is a modernized, heavily condensed version of Lovecraft's At the Mountains of Madness. It leaves you wanting more, with its unsettling revelations and deeply atmospheric narrative. While I couldn't trace the original author of this tale, it seems inspired by a short story written by an independent horror writer named James. His works often appear on platforms like Reddit or similar sites. This is one of those rare gems that feels like pure gold. It's perfect for immersing yourself in cosmic dread with a pair of headphones, lying in bed, and letting the story consume you. Just one warning, don't expect to fall asleep easily afterward. We've already explored a comic and listened to a narrated creepypasta, so now it's time for something animated. Today I want to introduce you to an intense yet overlooked and almost forgotten animation that fits seamlessly into the same thematic realm as Alien. This film, C.A.T, was released in 1987, and I'm genuinely surprised at how few people are familiar with it. Even within the circles of anime, horror, and sci-fi enthusiasts, it's a rarity to find someone who knows it. That said, considering how difficult it used to be to access quality anime or films back then, maybe it's not so shocking. Set in the 23rd century, this story takes place in a world where humanity has achieved astonishing technological progress. Space travel is now common, with nations exploring and harvesting resources from distant planets. The film's protagonists are a crew of space miners. During their mission, their ship's computer detects debris drifting in space and retrieves some samples. What they don't realize is that this seemingly harmless material smuggles an alien contaminant aboard, while the crew remains in cryogenic sleep. When the crew awakens, they're faced with an unexpected revelation. 2 spies are aboard the ship, posing as surveyors who had no business being there. However, this issue quickly pales in comparison to the true horror they encounter. A crew member, Morgan, is discovered dead from a mysterious infection that soon begins to spread among the others. Victims succumb to a horrifying bacterial attack that dissolves their bodies. At first, suspicions turn towards sabotage by the imposters, but it soon becomes clear that the infection is something far worse, a rapidly evolving life form capable of mimicking its human victims. I'm sure you'll love this concept, a shape-shifting entity that also gains control over the ship's computer systems, blending biological terror with the threat of artificial intelligence. This brief overview barely scratches the surface of what C.A.T offers. Expect visceral gore and nods to many iconic films I've mentioned before. You can find the movie on YouTube, though unfortunately, it's only available in Japanese. The automatic subtitles might come in handy if you're eager to experience it. For fans of cosmic horror in anime or manga, this is a hidden gem that deserves a spot in your watch list. Whenever we delve into cosmic horror and manga, certain names inevitably come to mind. Hido, Gyo, Nav, or even classics like Giganto and Gantz. These works have earned their place as staples of the genre. But let me tell you something. For me, the best medium to experience cosmic horror isn't cinema, novels, or even short stories. It's manga. And I say this as someone who loves cinema deeply and doesn't consider themselves a diehard manga fan. There's something uniquely powerful about the way manga portrays this genre. The stark contrasts of black and white, the unrelenting gore, and the raw, visceral body horror that Japanese creators excel at make for an unparalleled experience. Manga panels have a haunting quality that no other medium can replicate. They linger in your mind, building dread panel by panel, page by page. But today, I'm not here to talk about the usual classics. Instead, I want to introduce you to an obscure gem that I discovered entirely by accident. This manga is called DEUS, and it is, quite simply, haunting. It's a story that can feel slow, ambiguous, and even frustratingly brief, leaving so much to the imagination. I could only find a single volume, and after searching extensively, I couldn't determine whether this is the entirety of the work. If more is being developed, or if it's been abandoned altogether. Its obscurity only adds to its mystique, making it feel like a lost relic of cosmic horror. At its core, DEUS is a bleak tale deeply entrenched in Lovecraftian themes. It introduces us to Miyu, a teenage girl who once led a happy and ordinary life. Her childhood was filled with simple joys, visiting the zoo with her parents, feeling loved, and experiencing the world through innocent eyes. But everything changed when an inexplicable phenomenon descended from the sky. The story never fully explains what it is, leaving us with fragments of a larger, incomprehensible puzzle. From that day forward, humanity's fate was forever altered. This entity, vast and alien, began to reshape the natural world, terraforming the planet and warping reality itself. It didn't stop at the physical world. It reached into the minds of humans, distorting their thoughts, emotions, and very beings. The closest parallel would be an overwhelming and monstrous version of The Color Out of Space, but with a more oppressive scope. By the time we meet Miyu, her world has already changed beyond recognition. She's no longer a carefree child. Instead, she's a teenager burdened with an impossible responsibility, caring for her parents, who have been grotesquely transformed into snails. This transformation isn't just a physical change. It reflects the profound and existential horror that now defines life on Earth. Miyu tries to carry on, to maintain some semblance of normalcy, but the world itself has become unrecognizable. Even the fish sold at the market look as though they've crawled out of a nightmare. One day, however, a turning point arrives. A mysterious figure, a messenger of sorts, descends to Earth and delivers a cryptic message to Miyu. She doesn't need to worry about her parents. This moment is pivotal, introducing a layer of cosmic intrigue that raises more questions than it answers. The story of DEUS is a masterclass in atmosphere. It captures the essence of cosmic horror in ways that feel deeply unsettling and utterly profound. The loneliness and sorrow that permeate every page create an emotional weight that's hard to shake. The visuals, while minimalist, convey a desolate world consumed by an otherworldly presence. What sets DEUS apart is how it leans into ambiguity, forcing readers to confront the unknown. It doesn't spoon-feed its narrative. Instead, it allows the silence between panels and the empty spaces in the story to amplify the dread. The lack of resolution mirrors the very essence of Lovecraftian horror. Some truths are too vast, too alien for the human mind to comprehend. Babilomiania. In this list, I've shared a variety of cosmic horror content with you, ranging from a graphic novel about humanity's horrifying future to an old Japanese film that blends elements of Alien and even the absurd skibidi toilets. But I wanted to end with something truly special, a piece of work that's one of a kind, something that comes along only once in a lifetime. It's the kind of hidden gem that few know about, but those who do absolutely love it. This manga, despite feeling a bit drawn out in its narrative, is the best recent example I've found of modernized cosmic horror, or as some might say, a story where cosmic horror collides with an even greater, deeper kind of horror. Let's talk about Babilomiania. This story, part dreamlike fantasy and part cosmic terror, follows the adventures of Alicia, who wakes up one day without knowing how she got there, in a mysterious room 4. We soon learn that this is part of an abstract, surreal hotel with 606 rooms. Alicia begins moving from room to room, each one presenting a different challenge, some terrifying, others fantastical, all under the watchful eye of a mysterious entity known as the Serpent. Each time Alicia leaves a room, she's forced to enter another, and with every transition, her body begins to decay. If she lingers too long in one place, the process will eventually destroy her. Naturally, Alicia is desperate to escape, to unravel the cryptic puzzle that holds her captive. But as the story unfolds, it becomes clear that the real terror doesn't reside within the surreal, dreamlike hotel. When Alicia finally returns to the real world, the story delivers a Lovecraftian punch straight to the gut, reminding us that even in the realm of horror, there are levels, and beyond those levels lie monsters that devour other monsters. Remember how you felt watching the autopsy episode from Cabinet of Curiosities? That same dread is here in Babilomiania, only turned up to 10. The artwork is phenomenal, and while the story isn't particularly long, I personally would have preferred it to move more quickly toward the cosmic horror elements. Even so, I'm sure many fans, especially manga enthusiasts, will enjoy this material and see it as a must-have addition to their collection. The world is overflowing with countless stories of cosmic horror. You just need to know where to look. For those of us who love this genre, there's joy in browsing bookstores, Googling obscure content, asking friends for recommendations, or watching unknown films and series. Amid all the generic clutter, sooner or later, a true gem emerges, one that leaves a lasting impression. Cosmic horror is a genre that thrives on the unknown, on the vast and incomprehensible forces that remind us of how small we truly are. From the haunting future of humanity lost, to the surreal terrors of Babilomiania, and the unexpected gems like The Sun Is Not a Star or Lily C.A.T, these stories challenge our perceptions, unsettle our imagination, and leave us craving more. Each of them, in its own unique way, taps into that primal fear of the vast, unexplainable universe and the horrors lurking within it. But the beauty of exploring this genre is that there's always something new to discover, stories waiting to be unearthed, hidden gems lying in wait for the curious and the brave. If you love cosmic horror as much as I do, you know the thrill of uncovering these treasures. So, which of these stories caught your attention? Is there a hidden gem you've discovered that you think I should talk about next? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this dive into the abyss, don't forget to like the video, share it with your fellow horror fans, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future content. See you in the next video.